Hi, Spooky Rosie here. I love making these kinds of videos, so here's another one. This'll probably be my last video for a while. The next time you'll see me will be for the November comeback review later next month. Plus, if you didn't already know, I'm making my own award show too, to be premiered sometime in early December. It's going to be a very long video, so I'll need all the time to prepare for it, and I hope you understand. But anyways, before I go, here's another banger video. Welcome to part 8 of the greatest K-pop songs ever made. Enjoy the video. Great artistry, skill, and talent are things I appreciate a lot. The passion they have in creating and performing music is what I love about some of these K-pop groups. And sometimes, you can even tell just by listening to the music itself. Whether it be their performance, the production, or the message. You can always tell a song was made with love with just those three things. And here are some notable ones I'd love to share. I don't think I'll ever get over this song really. It's been 4 years or whatever, but every time I listen to it, it still feels like the first time. The song is aging wonderfully more than I could have ever imagined. From the first time I heard it, to this very moment right now, I have been getting goosebumps. I'd say this is my Velvet equivalent of what I felt with Russian Roulette, just absolute perfection. This very thick, smooth, and distinct atmosphere you can't replicate. The fans' biggest complaint with this song is that it is repetitive and bland, almost boring as some might say. And I'm here sitting, confused. How could one possibly think of that? Cause I think the exact opposite. I get that it's kinda repetitive. I mean, it is pretty much the same beat for the whole 3 minutes. But it still sounded great nonetheless. Its simplicity is the best thing going for it. A good majority of K-pop music is very extravagant, a lot of things going on, and I personally don't like that too much. Some companies and groups are fixated on making an impression so hard, that they forget to make the music actually sound good. Now look at Red Velvet and this song. On paper this sounds like any R&B song out there. But what separated this from being another R&B song is that it was executed perfectly. From the production, to the girls singing, to the lyrics, it was all sensational. This goes to show how talent can influence how great a song can be. And in my years of being a K-pop stan, there was always one artist whose talent I can feel through the song alone. Before I talk about the song, let me talk about Sunmi. I really think she's one of the best soloists we have in K-pop. 1. She's highly capable and talented. And 2. She has this specific style with her music and visuals. She's that quirky girl down in the street that no one would like at first. But as you get into her you realize she's just unique. Literally the phrase "I'm not like other girls" personified. Now I didn't put her and this song on the list just to be different as well. I really believe her music is something to be noticed by everyone. I chose this song over her other ones because this gives me the most unsettling feeling. Which is something I always loved about her. She almost comes off as a crazy person with her music and I love it so much. And I don't mean literally, okay. From what I've seen, Sunmi is a sweet person in real life. And it's insane how her concept is the opposite of that. Getting down to the song's literal meaning. Siren is a track where Sunmi sings about a lover whose image of her doesn't fit with reality, resulting in her ending the relationship. You know, like a warning to a disaster that's bound to happen. and I feel like the message of the song, and how the actually song sounds like, really complement each other. The intro sets the mood immediately, making you sense something is wrong and unsafe. And that's the only thing you'll be able to feel for the rest of the track. I'll always appreciate idols for getting deep into their concepts. That's what I call talent, ladies and gentlemen. I won't go out and say I was the biggest fan of the song since its release. I'm pretty sure I disliked it in some way initially. But as time went by, my preferences and the way I evaluate things changed. Back then this song was just another girl crush song. I love me blah blah blah. Pretty much something I've heard a million times already. But after a while this song grew on me. Yes, it might have taken almost 4 years for it to do so, but right now, being on this list, I consider it one of the best. For what reason exactly? Well, they fucking ate this shit up. For all the times I listened to his song in those past 4 years, I slowly realized how much they fit this style. Especially now that they're disbanded and I started to miss them even more. I keep looking back at their music, thinking, what if they remained being a group? We could have gotten so much more. It's a shame they had to be under such a shitty company. This song is one of the few moments where I can actually feel the confidence radiating from the song itself. I wouldn't wanna mess with them if I were you. If looks could kill? No bro. If songs could kill, we'd all be dead right now. And the icing on the cake. This song holds one of, if not, the best outro to any K-pop song I've ever heard.
Red lip, no. Red lip, no. Earring, no.
Underrated gems. That was CLC and this track right here. This is one of the best things about this series, honestly. I get to promote songs that usually would never get the spotlight. Because this, and the next song, are some that I'll never get tired of talking about.
어젯밤 내 세계를 뒤흔들었던 꿈이 악몽인지 혹은 아직 꿈속인지 날 익은 빛을 따라간 꿈속 미러 그곳에서 발견한 또 하나의
Let's talk about Limitless since no one else is. I won't go telling this is the best song to ever grace this earth. But if your ass is still not listening to this song, I'll need you to start doing so. For a song made by NCT, this is criminally underrated. For the noise music haters out there thinking noise is everything NCT does, let me introduce you to this song. Behind the baddies and Porsches, there exists normal music, and it's fucking amazing. Limitless isn't the poppiest K-pop song to ever K-pop, but I also wouldn't call it artsy. I feel like their main goal with this track was none other than to make a good song. Same with Bad Boy by Red Velvet, it's not innovative or anything, it's just good. I literally don't have any other fancy adjectives to describe it, it's simply a well-made song. But while being more normal than their usual music, it still has that neo sound we all know them for. You get the best of both worlds. And I know that they always sound great, but for me this was their best performance vocally in a song, especially in that chorus, oh lord. That chorus is one of the best choruses I've heard, and I need everyone to hear it at least once. Also that thing Taeyong does in the verses, which is probably my favorite part of the song.
거짓은 들러부터 끈적해 회색빛 듯이 ain't got a chance 선제요나 싶다 먼 미래
Gaslighting you to like this song will not do it. I'll need you to listen to this song on your own and tell me yourself. If you end up not liking it, fine, I tried. But if you do end up liking it, you may thank me later.
Please, I don't want to scream. Double R's come 눈을 뜬다 눈을 뜬다 Please, I don't want to scream.
Before this song was released, I never really understood the hype they got. Everyone called them underrated, saying they deserved more recognition. So I bothered checking them out, trying to see what the hype was all about. And you know what, I gave it to them. No one was doing J-rock in K-pop except for Dreamcatcher. But other than that, they were like any other K-pop group, just with a unique concept, that's all. But with this comeback and the previous one before it, I started seeing it. Of course back then they were still relatively new to the scene, which means they still had much more room to improve. And this comeback was exactly that. Scream is the epitome of everything Dreamcatcher, and I love it so much. Dreamcatcher before this felt like they were holding back. Personally I needed something loud, something that will make my head bang non-stop. And this was the song I needed all this time. It was the hardest song they've made. It was almost more metal than rock in my opinion. And at this point they've sung about how many rock songs that they could pass as rock singers themselves. Compare this to their first song, you can tell how much they improved in all aspects. Singing, rapping, even the production got better. I feel like they'd gotten so comfortable with it that they basically own this sound. So now I can confidently say that Dreamcatcher is underrated and deserves much more attention. Their evolution from Minx to where they are now is kind of inspiring if you ask me. They're not necessarily the most successful group ever, but as artists I think they've evolved wonderfully. Here's another new group on the list. I felt like it was about time I added Day 6 on here, and I thought Sweet Chaos was a perfect first entry for them. There's just something I love so much about bands. The fact they perform almost everything themselves from vocals to instruments. I can't help but appreciate that. And with that, it honestly makes every one of their songs much better. Do we hear those drums, people? Do we? Got me headbanging like I've never headbanged before. This is one of the few songs where I have to think before skipping it. I'm not really in the mood to listen to rock right now. But fuck, this song is so good I can't skip it. Yeah, talk about unskippable music, alright. I'll always be down to listen to this song any day. Listening to the studio version versus a live version of this song are two different experiences. Sometimes the latter is much better too. Them playing instruments live is something I want to witness in real life. I find anyone who can play an instrument attractive, which is probably why I appreciate bands a lot. The voice is too like goddamn. You can feel the emotions coming through it effortlessly. Plus the chorus of the song is fantastic. The pre-chorus and chorus are connected by the line Sweet Chaos, and faster paced lines are then introduced after it. In individual aspects, this song almost lacks in nothing. It surely takes a lot of skill and talent in songwriting and performance to be a great band. Something you don't normally see with K-pop groups is participation in writing a song. I always respect groups who do so, because knowing they participated in writing makes me feel even closer to the artist, the song, and of course, the message itself.
튀지 않는데 너는 내 말을 들을 때 또 tryna pull up 시간이 멈춘 듯해 Oh that'll be my first days I've been always afraid of.
I've always been a fan of classical music. Just the way each and every instrument is purposefully played and timed to create a much bigger, grander sound. It's really times like this where I wished I knew music terminology, so that I can properly explain everything that you and I are hearing right now. But I'll try my best in the way I've always known how, which is through my own words and feelings. Whenever I hear this song I experience a lot of things. Sadness, fear, despair, and more mostly negative things. For a K-pop group, you'd obviously want a song that makes you happy and lively. But I think BTS has made it more than clear that this isn't that kind of song. And for some reason, I'm glad they did. From my own interpretation, I believe this song is a cry for help. I chose this version specifically because I believe the original doesn't do a great job of portraying the song's true emotions. It's a song that tears you apart, just slowly. The violins themselves tell the story on its own. Violins are versatile. They can hit the highest and lowest of notes at any speeds. This song literally hits every single note in you. The highest and lowest parts of your own self. Now you may ask, what even is the meaning of this song? Why is it so important to you and the artist? Black Swan tells a story of a dancer, or any artist's fear of losing passion for their art. I think any artist can relate to BTS with this song. They've been going at it for almost a decade now, and I can see why they made this song. An idol's life is exhausting. Non-stop making music, performances, for how many years? You can tell they wanted a break, while also fearing they may be losing their passion for music. I resonate with this song quite a bit. As an artist myself, I fear of the day that I stop doing what I love to do. And for some out there, art is everything that they had. For a lot of us, art is a way of expressing ourselves. All of our thoughts, emotions, desires, and how we experience the world around us. Losing this passion could mean losing ourselves, our own identity even. Heart pulsing slow in my ears, try to flee but back into the more. No song affects me anymore, crying out a silent cry. Then like this may be how I die my first death. But what if that moment's right now? We all know how losing something you love hurts a lot. But in my opinion, the thought of it hurts more than the moment itself. The not knowing where, when, and how it happens. And exactly like what Martha Graham said. A dancer dies twice. Once when they stop dancing. And this first death is the more painful.